welcome to my channel. So today I thought I'd do another colour and chat because last week I was working on this picture in a colour and chat. If you've not seen that, I'll leave a link up in the corner in case you was interested. But I did a colour and chat in Dragons in Nature special because it was Appreciate a Dragon Day, and you know, why not, we have a dragon. So I thought I'd come back to this because it's been mentioned in the past that I do colour and chats and then I don't finish the picture and people just see it pop up in end of month, either the recap or or on Instagram. So yeah, I thought I would carry on a little bit with this one, and yeah, I mean, I may as well just get started. I'm using the ARTEZA water brush pens. I used brown ones obviously to do the tree. I still got them there, but I've pulled out a few greens. And as you can see from I mentioned last time, one of my complaints about the ARTEZA pens is that like this white print rubs off so easily, and obviously I use my greens way more than I use other colours in general, and this is the worst one. I'm taking a rough guess. I think by process of elimination and where it was on the tray, I think this is lime green, but basically yeah, this is that's all that's left on this pen, and so I'll just have to guess. Hopefully these won't have dried out. As I say, these are the colours that get a bash in because I do work, I like doing florals and the like. The big picture, actually, I'll tell you what, I'll show you why they might be running out. I'll show you a picture I've done before I start on this one. One of my favourite pictures that I've done with the water brush pens is this one. It's a curvy picture. I don't know why I'm showing you this, just reasons, but it's the reason why I ran out of greens. So I did this one. I did this back in 2019, but yeah, look, there was so many bushes, and then we had the tree, and all of this whole picture, apart from a little bit of the white clouds, and obviously I used some Posca pen to take away some key lines. This was all, yeah, no, the blue sky and the clouds was done in the ARTEZA water brush pencils, and then I had to use Posca for the key lines. But apart from that, everything else was done in the water brush pens. You can see it bled through. Now it doesn't look too bad, but this is like almost cardboard. The paper in here is really chunky because this is the American edition. As you can see, I bought it in Walmart when I was on holiday. At the time, that was a good price, because it was more expensive in the UK. So and the exchange rate wasn't tanked then either. So it was not cheap, but it was still better at the time. Now I think it's more like £4 or something if you want to get one of those books. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Wow, that's a good start, isn't it? I've so much for we'll do this picture. I just spent the first 5 minutes talking about stuff. Right, so let's have a look. We'll do something nice and big because it always takes me a little while to get warmed up. Now, if you saw, like I did see last week's, well, let's try with this lime because we don't know how much is left in there, so that might be good. Lime was nice and light, and we'll go for, what's this, seaweed green. That looks quite dark as well. We was doing tip to tip stuff, so let's just pull off those caps. When we left it last week, I'd only done to there, so I did this in the little gap, so I didn't do that much, but it finished off the tree trunk. But you can see now with the tip to tip stuff, you can see how much more clearly, I think that you can see from the light green and dark green how it's taken this dark green inside. So let's just give it a go on one of these leaves. We'll do a nice big one just to get warmed up. But yeah, what was I saying? I was glad to say something. Oh no, this does feel quite dry. We're not going very well into the yeah, I think lime green might be a bust actually. I mean, it is coming out, but it's just not flowing very well. Not very smooth, if you know what I mean. Look, you can see that. Yeah, I think we might have to find another one. Probably if I stood it up this end, Oh, I know what I was going to say, because I was reminded there where I did my tip to tip that when I look back at the video, this phone does have some issues with the autofocusing, which I apologise for. I do tell it to focus on one part of the page to try and resist, you know, so that it's not always jumping in and out, but it doesn't seem to work very well. This is on an Android phone. It's my other half's old phone, which I started using for filming because it has more memory than mine. I have an iPhone, but it's quite old. It's an iPhone 6, and it doesn't have the biggest memory. When I get a new phone, which I eventually will, yeah, not happy with it, how this is blending. I'll just try a little bit more, just try and smooth it out. But yeah, I've noticed it does have trouble with the autofocusing, which is so annoying. So I think I might have to go back to my iPhone, which is just, it's fine for short videos, but for longer videos like this would, for example, which I assume is going to be something like 45 minutes to an hour, this phone is easier to film on, whereas the iPhone I'd have to do it in like a couple of segments, which isn't the end of the world, but it just means sometimes the camera just moves slightly because I take the camera off to download it on my computer. And see, I want to be stubborn about this because I don't want just one leaf standing out as being different from all the rest. So I want to try at least get another couple done. But you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to. This is just so, you can see, can't you? Compared to that, which was just like so smooth, this is just, I think this is a dead pen. I might try reviving it with some water before the next time. It might just dried out. No, I'm gonna have to look. Oh, how rude. Right, that's lime green, rest in peace. I've got another light one here though, because I did think it's possible, and I've got a pale green. So let's see how this goes. Oh, so how's it all going with you lot? We are still in lockdown, obviously. It's starting to look like, I think we're going to be in lockdown for like another, I think it's going to be somewhere in the region of like another 3 or 4 weeks, to be honest. They're saying, I think I heard them suggest mid-February, but I guess it depends on how the numbers go and how the vaccines go. But yeah, fortunately, was that even in camera? Do you know what? And it's occurred to me, I'm looking straight down. I should probably move this camera, shouldn't I? So that my hand doesn't get in the way. Fortunately, from my personal point of view, it's not much different from me because I do work from home anyway, and I'm a bit of a hermit in the sense that I can get on all right when I'm with people. I'm more than happy with people, but I'm also quite comfortable in my own company, and I could easily be a hermit if should the urge take me. So I'm lucky in that sense because I don't have that I just don't have that battle that some people do have to deal with, that mental health battle of loneliness and the like, or just needing that social interaction, because I'm quite unsocial. It's like, yeah, go away. What do you mean somebody's knocking at my door when I didn't know they was coming? Yeah, I'm not opening that. You serves you right for not letting me know that you're coming. So yeah, but my heart does go out to all the people who do struggle. My mum's a bit like that. She's very much a she's a talker. Like, she'll phone, if she phones up, you don't have 5-minute conversations with my mother. She's you know, I get to know everything about what the neighbours have done and what, you know, friends of friends, people I don't know. I've never met them before in my entire life because they're her friends and her neighbours. Yep, I know all about their lives. Like, she's a talker. So I know she's finding it quite tough at the moment, especially as she has to be shielded as well. So she's got, like, it's just even worse for her. I do feel bad. What can I say? At least there's things like FaceTime and the like, which does help her a bit. Right. Why isn't this coming out? Don't tell me this one's running out as well, because I haven't used seaweed green very much. Let's try this. So I feel like I've peaked a little bit too early with my my chatting. I just uploaded yesterday my 10 discoveries of 2020. Oh my days. It was an hour long. So today is Thursday. I'm filming. It's Thursday. And so I uploaded that on Wednesday. And the video was an hour long. Like, I'm teasing about my mother being a talker. Wow. Like, how did I even do? I don't even know how I managed it. But I did manage to talk for an hour. Me who makes claims about not being a talker, an hour. But yeah, I do feel maybe I peaked too early, because now I don't know what to talk about. Oops. But, things that was coming up in that came up in that. Obviously, in case you haven't realised it, I do have a bit of a quirky sense of humour sometimes. So I was teasing people in that video as well about my favourite channels. It's like, you're all equal, and apart from these ones that aren't equal, obviously everybody, I love you all, but I do joke, and it is a bit of a quirky humour sometimes. I just know, like, one day I'm going to get myself into trouble, just because somebody hasn't realised I'm joking and just think I'm being a bit of an arse. I promise you, if ever I say something, okay, let's put it this way: if I'm going to offend you, if I'm going to say something offensive, you're not going to sit there thinking, now was she serious or was she a joke? You'll definitely know if I'm being rude. Like, there's no two ways about it. So anything that you're thinking, was she serious or not, it means I'm not being serious. I never deliberately go out to rub people up the wrong way. Or when I do rub people up the wrong way, people know it. It's not up for debate. But yeah, one of these days it'll get me into trouble. I'll just get stormed by outraged of YouTube. But yeah, hopefully by this time, if you've been around my channel for a while, you'll know by now that I can be a little bit irreverent, a little bit cheeky, and I like to tease. Yeah, that's my story, and I am sticking with it. Right. Yeah, well, I'm going to put a bit more dark in that one, because it's got a leaf overlapping the top of it, which means it's further back. So we'll just If you haven't figured it as well, if you saw last week, some of these was really, really dark. It does lighten up. It's a bit like alcohol markers, these, but they're a bit slower. But in the sense that they do lighten up as they dry. Oh, there's a siren. Sorry, I live in London. Hang on, I'll let him go past. Oh, he's a slow one. Come on. There we go. It's alright, wasn't coming for me. I'm safe. We can carry on. Right, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so these dry, but because it's not alcohol. Alcohol dries quickly, and so they go lighter quickly. But because you're actually, you know, these are water-based, so they do take longer to dry and lighten. So this, if you compare this to last week, it's obviously a lot lighter. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to move the camera because I think it'd be a little bit easier for you to see what's going on. Oh, I don't know. I'm looking at it on camera. Because I'm holding the pen quite far back. Maybe you can see. Let's hope I don't have to dump all this footage. I'll get to the end. It's like, I knew I should have moved the camera. And if you can hear outside, the kids, we do have some kids in school. Despite being on lockdown, they have like the key workers and things like that. Their kids can all still go to school. So there's a small group out there all playing, what are they playing? Football, soccer, as you would call it in the States. It's called football. Yeah, we call it football because it is football. Oops, it doesn't really matter if you go over the edge here. Don't see much. But yeah, they do get quite excited. Right, now that is a fuchsia, so I don't want to colour that in green by accident. But hopefully it's all looking okay on this because it is quite a dark day. Again, we've had this storm going through. Can't remember what it's called. Christian? No, something like that. We haven't had it too bad in London, apart from it being really like overcast. We did have a bit of rain overnight, but nothing too crazy. But I know there's like huge floods up north and snow. And so yeah, if you're in the north of England or Scotland or somewhere like that, or just anywhere that's got snow, I feel for you, because if you're not familiar, we seem as a country, we're not very good at handling weather. For all we talk about it, like the slightest bit of snow, it'd be like 2 millimeters of snow, and it's bedlam. They're a bit better up north about it, in a little bit. They do have snow plows and stuff, but generally, the further south it gets, the worse we are, because you know we just don't get it often enough. So you have that whole unfamiliarity with snow for a start. So everybody crashes their cars and stuff because they don't know how to drive in snow. But also, like, nobody has things like there'll be like one plough for like 100-mile area or something like that. And we have to borrow ploughs if we get bad weather down south. And nobody has things like chains for that, you know, or even tyres for winter. Most people wouldn't. No, I don't think anybody would change their tyres down south, because you know we wouldn't. Right, I think, oh, is that a bit of tree behind it? That is, isn't it? Look, missed some tree. And the reason I didn't do these roots I thought they looked more like a vine because it joins with this one, whereas that's all gnarly, so like a tree root, but I think that's more like a vine. So that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in green, but I've just realised I've missed some tree. Oh well, I'll come back. Good job I left those browns out and didn't put them away. But yes, what was I saying? I can't even remember. I was moaning about the weather because that's what the British are good at. Gotta be good at something. Weather and cues. What else is going on? Well, there's a load of political stuff going on, obviously, but we won't talk about that because that's just like a whole can of worms. I have my views. Let's just leave it at the fact that I at the moment I'm a lot happier than I was at the beginning of the week. So we'll leave it at that. Let's see. What can I talk about? I should have written a list, shouldn't I? Could have written a list in my diary, in my compendium, which I do have here. I keep keeping it close, trying to keep it close, just on the off chance that you know, it's like I keep talking about it with you, mostly to remind myself that it exists, because I did that colour in Discoveries, and and I was teasing Shayna about this when she did a video and she wrote, she was talking about a compendium, which she'd bought one. She's like, oh, let me just grab some scratch paper and make notes because she wanted to film a video. I'm like, you should put it in your book. And she's replied to the comments. She's like, yeah, I didn't think of it, but she's trying to keep it nice, which I totally get because I'm the same. I've been writing only in gel pen, and so for my colouring Discoveries, I was just like, oh, I'm not writing in the book because it's a massive long list of things to talk about. I'm like, and my handwriting is appalling. So I was like, no. So I did my colouring Discoveries not from my compendium. I did it so that on a piece of paper so that I didn't mess up my book, which is kind of defeating the purpose, but it'll be fine. It's, you know what it's like with new things. You get so paranoid, not paranoid, but you think about it a lot because you want to keep it nice. I'm pretty sure one of two things will happen with this compendium. One, I'll abandon it by March, or it'll just get dog-eared and well loved, and I'll stop being so precious about it, which is hopefully what will happen. Because I'm not a bullet journaler or anything. I don't need it to look nice. I've just got it in my head about writing in pretty colours and best handwriting. Whereas really, I just want it to be practical. That is the purpose of it. So hopefully I will just like get over myself about trying to keep it so precious, and actually use it even for silly notes. My bad handwriting. Right. Okay. So I'm quite happy. Oh, let's do more leaves here. We'll do these leaves. If you want, I say if you want. I'm saying this like you've got a choice. If you want, I'll show you my compendium, because I didn't do it last time. I started to show you my compendium and how I was using the plan of it, and then I was just like, oh, squirrel, and I started talking about my, what's it called, my name in colour, which I've decided, by the way, I am going to extend all year. I've had quite a few people say that they'd like that. And who am I to argue, especially when you consider the fact that I've actually only coloured in one name plate myself this month, and also, well, I've nearly done a second one. It just needs some gel pen and stuff, but you know, when I'm such a plodder myself, initially I was just like, oh yeah, I might do it for February to carry it on so that I have a chance, because I knew I'd be rubbish at it. And but no, all year works. So I'll actually get some pictures I've got this nice long list in my compendium about books that I've not done the nameplate for, and yeah, there's lots of them. There was a surprising amount actually. I thought I was quite good at colouring in nameplates, but apparently I'm not. Apparently I probably just my Johanna Basford ones, but even there's some Johanna Basford ones I've not done. So yeah, I just live in some sort of fantasy world apparently. Do you know what I want? I think I want something a little bit darker. Let's find. I'll just put this lid on for the moment because that's not the juiciest one. Let's find another dark green just to mix it up a bit. Right, I actually pulled out a forest green which was still in the box. I just didn't like the ones that I had there. That is the nice thing about these ARTEZA real brush pens. For like the botanicals, they have like, I don't know, 15, 16 greens. It's a really good selection. So I've gone in the end for the forest green, which is a really dark one. So what did I use before? The seaweed green. So we'll stick with the pearl green. Get these lids off again. I'm glad I put the lid on now because I was like, you don't want to know how long that took me to decide. But yeah, let's give this a go. See how, I mean, it's not going to be dramatically darker because the other one was fairly dark, but I just want to try and you know, the more work we do now with the tip to tip stuff, the less work I have to do in pencil, and considering how slow I am with pencil, that can only be a good thing. I made a bit of a mess there. That's fine, nobody will know. But I've completely lost my train of thought now. Not that I had much of a train of thought, I never do. Yeah, no, completely lost it. Completely lost it. I think I was talking about my diary still? My obsession. I'll show you it before I bail. I want to get some of these some of these leaves done because I want you to see, you know, roughly what I'm doing. Sorry, I had a tickle there. Yeah, because naturally I'm not going to be doing all the leaves on camera. That is like my I've made a bit of a mess there. I wonder if I can blend that out a bit, because where I was putting in the dark there, I've gone over it. See if I can blend this out. But yeah, I want you to see roughly what I'm doing with the leaves, with these tip to tip things. And then if you do have the picture, or you have some leaves to do, then you can see how I'm doing them. Not that I'm anything to teach by. Oh, I've still got this tickle. I might have to have a drink. I'll have to see. It's because I've been talking. I talk too much. But yeah, that's kind of the route I'm going with these colouring chats. So if, you know, you're seeing me do things on the camera, but you're not seeing me do all of the things. You're just seeing me, and then I'll do a bit like after I'm done with this. I'll do more leaves off camera. Though I don't know what to do the dragon, because he's not your traditional dragon with like all the scales. He's like a sort of svelte types. I don't know. Or at least she's not giving him scales. So it's like a smooth one. What do you think? That's something for you to do. You can. Oh, this could get good, because one of my problems is I can never make up my mind. Whereas now I can just ask you and you can make up my mind for me. What colour shall we make this dragon? Let me know in the comments. Whatever gets most votes or suggestions, that's what I'll go with. So make sure lots of you answer, because if only 2 people answer and you both say something different, then I'm I'm stuffed. But yeah, we could go with something traditional, like a red or a green or a gold. We can go for something non-traditional, like a sort of you know, like he's blending in, so he could be like a sort of turquoisey sea green, you know what I mean, that sort of dark, that bluey green, which would still fit in, I think, with the leaves, and he'd be like sort of not camouflaged, but he won't be standing out. Or we could go with something sort of fairy like, so he could be like in pastels, pinks, blues, pale greens as well, like mint green. You know, let me know, what colour do you think is going to be good for this dragon? And yeah, most votes wins. Most votes wins. And that saves me having to decide. I'd quite like to get this done before the end of the month, so I will be doing quite a lot of the leaves off camera, and then I'll be back to do... Oh, I made a bit of a mess there, didn't I? Let's blend that out a bit. I'll go off and do a lot of the leaves off camera, and then I think next week I'll be back to do the dragon, which you'll have decided for me. And we'll get that done before the end of the month, be in my finished pages. And I think what I'll do is, if I can't get the dragon finished in the colour and chat, I mean, I'll make it probably a bit longer just to fit him in, but I might just finish it off as a speed colour. So it'll, you know, I'll be on camera, but I won't be talking. It'll just be that, just the last dribs and drabs at the end, just to finish it off. Which hopefully, well, by next week we'll just have the dragon and like the fuchsias and maybe the toadstools, things like that. The door, I think what I might do is I'll do that off camera, because I'll be doing that not the same as the tree trunk. I think what I'm going to do with that is it will be like browns, but there'll be more reddy browns. So it'll be like natural, but I'll be just doing it the exact same way as I did the tree, but just with different colours. Raw reddy browns as opposed to brown browns. But yeah, so next week I'll just do the flowers and the dragon and I'll be done. So the speed colour might just be like the pencil shading. If I can get most of the pen work done. You know, the real brush pen work are done in the colour. Oh, it's fine, nobody will notice. Then, yeah, because everybody knows how to, well, I shouldn't say that. Everybody doesn't know how to do pencils, but that includes me. I'm not very good with pencils. That is like one of my missions to get better at, which we'll be doing by practice. But not many people, I don't think, work with the real brush pens. And what I noticed as well, I had a few comments. People said they've not seen the real brush pens used very often as real brush pens. You know, they usually get used as watercolours with a water brush pen. And there's no, I mean, the only downside to using them like this is you use up the ink faster. Obviously, if you put water with them and use them with a water brush, then the pigment goes a lot further, but it's also not as bright. And I do like these. The colours are really vibrant. Right. One more leaf and then we'll do these bits of stalk or whatever it is. I do quite like this effect. I described it as painterly last week, but you know what I mean. It's almost like because it's a mottled effect. It's almost like a watercolour paint, but more vibrant. Perhaps, you know, I guess, what, you know, obviously these do activate because they're water, but oops, I probably didn't mean to do that. Let's just pretend that that's in the shadow. But you know, this has like the vibrancy of say an Inktense, but without it actually being water activated. Let's just get that in there a bit more. I'll just run that up the middle. See, I did make a bit of a mess up there, but you can see it's blended out. And also it dries lighter. Right, so I've done them leaves. Let's just do, I'll put my lid on. And I'll just very quickly do some stalks. They do have these really nice tips, and they're brush, like as in the paintbrush, but they're quite stiff and they do hold the point. They're really nice. The only reason that I ever go over the edge is because I'm useless. I'm like, yeah. Sorry, I've gone quiet. It's because I'm trying to think, not think, concentrate. That's the word. Because it was a fine line. Actually, it's not even that fine. I'm just that I am just that easily sidetracked and lose concentration. Right, I think that's all. So what else am I going to do? Because that's part of his tile. I could do you know what we could do? Shall I do the door now? You've seen the leaves. You've seen how I'm doing the leaves. Perhaps I'll do the door. Let's do the door quick. Right, I need to dig out some pens. Bear with me. Right, I've just moved you up a bit. I've pulled out rosewood and wine red, so it's going to be a red door. We've got both of them off. The darker one is the wine red, I think, even though they both look dark, but let's just play with it and see what it gets. Alright, let's just try it down the side here, shall we? Yeah, so hopefully just get in between here. Doesn't matter too much about them stalks. I might even end up just going over those, ignoring them completely. If I want, I can bring them back with some gel pen or something like that. We shall very quickly do this. Actually, I think these colours might be a little bit too close together. I'm not seeing a huge difference in shading. It's a nice deep sort of burgundy red. This is one that I'll be working on more with pencil. Not too worried about that knocker either. I'll probably do that with a gel pen. Yeah, I might just try. See how this looks by itself. See there, it's obviously definitely brown. So I think I'll just do that. We'll go over the top and we'll just blend it out afterwards. Like this. I'll still do tip to tip, but that's what we're going to be using to blend it into the mottled red. And yeah, let's get in here then. Oops, it's fine. That's fine, I'll go over that with gel pen as well. All these things. That is basically how I roll. It's just like, anytime I make a mistake, it's like, it's fine, I'll just fix it at the end. Which does work surprisingly well. There are a lot of things that you can just, you know, fix at the end, just by covering it up or going over the top with a pencil or a gel pen or something like that. And that's why once I realised that, it helped me get a lot less, you know, obsessed, shall we say, with any time things go wrong during a picture. It's just, yeah, I just fix it at the end. Because also, you get to the end sometimes, and I'll make that joke, like, it's fine, nobody will notice. And a lot of times, you can't see it, and there'll be a mistake that I make, and I think I'll just look at that at the end, see what it's done, and fix it. And sometimes I can't even find the mistake that I'd made. It's just like, well, if I can't find it when I'm looking for it, which one? I've lost my thing. Which way around? That way. If I can't find it when a mistake when I'm looking for it, then other people certainly aren't going to find the mistake. And yeah, it works a treat. I recommend it. Just if something goes wrong, just fix it at the end. Everything can be fixed. If you saw when, if you did see that Discoveries of 2020, there's one of the channels that I recommended. Well, not I didn't recommend it. One of my discoveries, the channel that I discovered. She literally lets loose her 5-year-old. With some markers onto her Kirby books, and he scribbles all over them, and I'm like, well, if she can fix that, then, you know, there isn't anything that isn't fixable if you can fix doing that. I mean, there might be some creative palettes going on, but she fixes it. She fixes it all. Right, so we'll just do this, and I think I'm done for the day. We get this door done. Because you've seen me do the leaves, and what I'll do is I'll do the leaves off camera, and And you, in the meantime, can decide what colour I do my dragon. Yeah, I can get with this. Putting off my own decisions, having other people make my decisions for me. Yeah, I'm all with that. Right, so it's quite dark around the edges. This, remember, it will get quite a lot lighter as it dries. We have quite saturated it. One thing I will say about these as well, like if this was a regular felt tip pen, this would be tearing up the paper something wicked. It's very hard for it to, it doesn't do a lot, you have to do a lot for it to tear up the paper here with these markers. I think it's just because the brush is just so feathery light. Yeah, right, so we're just going to leave that. And do you know what, I could just do that little bit of tree as well while we're here. Ginger and coffee. Oh, there's a root there, isn't there, as well? How did I not see that? I'll decide what to do about the door frame afterwards. I'll probably just do it in yet another different shade of brown. Shall we quickly do this root as well? Not root, thing. Thing. It is a root, I think. It's like the tree root though, and that's a vine. Sorry, I did peek. Like I was joking at the start. I think I peeked too early in my chat, as I was a lot quieter today. Sorry about that. Hopefully by next week, when I'm back and doing this picture again, then I will have more to say. So what I'll do off camera then is these leaves, all these leaves and little sprouts, and I've got to decide what to do about the windows as well. But yeah, I'll do off camera, I'll just do all of the leaves and probably these vine things as well, because they'll all be green. Though he does have, look, his tail has the flowers growing out of his tail. So maybe we should do them green, but just a different shade of green. Maybe a really darker greens, and then, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I'm having this conversation. You're deciding my dragon. But he could be green, because he's got flowers growing out of his tail. So yeah, that's it for today, I think. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying these colouring chats, give me a thumbs up. And I will see you again next week, where we'll do the dragon. And I will have more coloured in. And hopefully I will get this finished before the end of the month. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care and see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.